I'm Steve Arbogast. I'm the head baker at Utica Bread. We're a old world style bakery. We don't use preservatives. We use, pretty much long fermentation on all of our breads with the intentions of building a lot of flavor. And it's also going to help to promote your shelf life, essentially by lowering your pH, creating a slightly acidic environment, which then prevents mold growth. Also helps to strengthen the dough and the protein structure, and generally just promotes a better loaf of bread in all sorts of good ways. Depending on the loaf and how you've handled it, I would say 3 days is probably your maximum for just slicing it and eating it. It's gonna get dry and it's gonna just start to become less palatable. If you're not gonna eat it in 1 day, I would wrap it in some sort of plastic just to keep it from drying out, and then you'd be good to go for a couple days after that. The easiest way to bring it back is probably to pop it in the toaster. A little bit of heat can do it wonders. I would freeze it if you're not gonna eat it within 3 days. Wrap it up tightly in saran wrap, pop it in the freezer. When you are ready to eat it, I'd pull it back out. I would put it on the counter, let it thaw, and then pop it in the oven for a few minutes at a good high temperature. It'll get your crust back and be just about as good as fresh. Staling is a process of the proteins. Basically, they're all curled up. So when they stale, they start to lay flat and they kind of stack on each other, and you get that, just not a great mouthfeel. It's just leathery, tough, not great to taste. Drying is literally just losing moisture out of the bread. They're different, but at the same time, if your bread starts to dry out quickly, it will increase the rate at which the bread stales. So again, you go back to, if you're not gonna finish it in the first day, keeping it in the plastic, although it's not gonna result for the greatest crust, is gonna keep the moisture in there. And then reheating it will reset the proteins. It'll go from this to this, and it'll get that mouthfeel back. You just gotta be careful. Once you heat it up, you're taking more moisture out, so you need to eat it while it's toasty and warm. If you let it sit, it's gonna be even drier and you're gonna increase your staling factor again. We're taking simple products and making something great. Bread in itself is flour, water, and salt. We're supplying something that's sustainable and simple and good for people. I think people really love it. I think they've been waiting for the opportunity to have access to fresh bread. Now they can come down and get it 7 days a week.